Hey everybody, I have the brand new Studio 86 RC right here. But this is a versus review, so I'm gonna put her up against what has been long deemed to be the pinnacle of RCs, the Thrilling 30 version of RC. Yes, the Universe one. Everyone seems to like this one, and apparently this one is partially based off it, so it should be a good competition. We'll go through both of them, and then you can decide which RC is right for you. Be right back. So let's start with the thing that I already have out of the box, and that is the Thrilling 30 RC. Now she comes with these wonderful swords, which you can attach to her legs, or you can also attach them, if you don't like them, on her legs for storage purposes while she's using the two guns that she has. You can kind of stick them on the back here, because she's got two honking guns. The accessories are great with this. I never really saw her use swords, but they gave her swords. And I'm not gonna complain. Who says she can't use swords? So the Thrilling 30 comes with this rather good sized gun compared to her hands, this small sized gun, and then these two swords, which she can also use to gut Decepticon enemies. Now, as far as posability on this, what has now become a classic, she's got a lot of posability in the legs. Now the legs are kind of jointed here where you can, as part of the transformation, you can kind of pop her hip out or her thigh out. But she can go forward, she can go to the side. She can just about do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Can't quite go all the way into the split, but close enough for government work. I actually didn't flip up her back thing, so yeah, she is very posable in the legs. She can do all kinds of kicks, side kicks, roundhouse kicks, and crescent kicks, and you name the kick, she can probably do it. X kick! Her arms are on ball joints, bend at the elbow. Her fists don't turn, but kind of a small joint there anyway. But she can twist at the shoulder, she can move up, she can bend. She also has a swivel at the top of her arm, so you can actually move her arms out to the side. So quite posable. She does not twist at the waist. The transformation does not really allow it. Her head, as you've probably already seen, is able to turn. She's able to look up. She's able to look down at Daniel and be like, "You punk ass kid." So she's got quite a bit of posability for a bit of an older toy. Now, she doesn't have the ankle swivels, but she is stable enough so that you can put her in dynamic poses, and because she has the swivel on the feet, even though it doesn't go side to side, she can definitely do some cool posing. So I know we've had different RCs that have come out. We've had the one from Earthrise and Kingdom or whatever. That one people were not as happy with. There's a pretty cool one from Cyberverse, and of course we've had ones from Animated, and the very first one, of course, was based on Black Arachnia's Transmetal 2 form and was a BotCon exclusive, but this has long been considered the best of the best. So let's see how the Studio 86 is. Very nice box, by the way. Does have that lack of protection. No plastic window, so you can reach inside there and just you can get fingerprints on your toy before you even get it. Nice artwork in the back showing the two modes or photographs. Nice artwork on the sides. You know, it's another version of RC. So from what I've read before I even took it out, is that this version is heavily based on the Studio Series 1. And of course it comes with the background as she's transforming Autobot City. And you can see the card there that you can also put in place, so you can just pose her. But let's get these plastic restraints of doom off of her, and we'll put this shit aside. Honestly, the cardboard cutouts, they're nice, but I don't really use them. So there she is out of the package. She comes with only one gun, so no swords, no extra gun, but it looks pretty close to what was in the actual movie. Definitely a lighter shade of pink, and different paint apps on the face. Her arms look very similar. Her hands are open as opposed to having the enclosed circles. So she can probably still hold some stuff as she's holding her gun, but her hands are definitely remolded. The head, she can look up and down. It's very similar Feels a little stiff because it's brand new, but she can look in various directions. Her legs do not appear to be able to go as wide apart. She can kind of do a split, but not quite a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. So they've made some changes to the feet, definitely. But she can bend, swivel, her arms swivel. She does twist at the waist a little bit. So it's definitely a change in the mold there. They both have similar looking backs, but there's some minor differences there. I'm gonna look at these side by side. They're pretty much the same height, but there are some differences of note. For example, the Thrilling 31 has the transparent plastic and the blue eyes so that the light piping can make her eyes glow. That is not the case with the Studio Series. Studio Series also has the ankle swivel, though I think they're both pretty sturdy in this pose. Have some slight additional sturdiness because of the feet. The paint apps on the face. Pretty much Thrilling 30 is just kind of like a pink face. This one is pink and she's got painted blue eyes and lipstick for some reason. I don't know why they need lipstick, but that is the case in this brand new one. The Studio Series Arcee's got an Autobot symbol top of her chest. That is not here on the Thrilling 30, though they both have it on their car mode in the same spot. Now the deco on the Studio Series, she's got pink forearms, pink shoulders, which is here as well, but there's additional detailing on the Thrilling 30, such as on the hands, making them black, pretty much around the wrists. And again, you can note the hands there, the closed hand compared to the open hand. So definitely some changes. The detailing here in the Thrilling 30, the extra blue is not present on the Studio Series. And the bottom part starts to get a little bit different. And obviously there are some differences in the transformation because there are differences in the legs. So here we have white legs with the pink crotch smashers. Here we have similar pink crotch smashers, but we have pink on the sides. We have black joints. And looking at the back, one of the major things is you can see wheels are on the back of the Thrilling 30 legs here that are not present on the studio version. So definitely a lot of remolding went to the bottom part. Not a ton on the top part, but you can see the headlights here, and we'll take a look at that more in vehicle mode. There's definitely different paint apps that have been used here. Also, because of part of the transformation, the Thrilling 30's legs can kind of go out. She can pop them out. That is not the case with the Studio Series. Whether that's a plus or a minus, or it could be just neutral. The neck area here and below is white, here it is black. So looking at them, the Thrilling 30 is a lot more colorful, and you can definitely see that the pink is definitely a darker shade of pink on the Thrilling 30. Of course, the Studio Series might be more accurate to the actual movie. All right, let's check out their vehicle modes. Starting with the Thrilling 30. Now, a lot of people have stated, and they're not exactly wrong, that Arcee is a bit of a shell former. Though it's less definitely with the Thrilling 30, since there are actual wheels on the back of her legs, which makes that part of the transformation. So there's Thrilling 30 Arcee in car mode. She rolls quite nicely. Now, as far as weapon storage, you can store her swords on the side of the car and even put her guns and attach them in the back. Now, Arcee has never been that much of a disguise car. I'm not sure in 2005 in that world if there's a lot of cars in this style driving down the road. But it's a good looking car, has weapon storage, nice detailing, Autobot symbol, and even on the bottom, I mean, you can kind of see the arms, but not a ton of kibble. All right, time for the Studio 86. So this car is based somewhat off the Thrilling 30, and I can see right now it's got some neat add-ins. I mean, I do have a lot of loyalty to my Thrilling 30, but I can already tell the transformation, while similar, is a bit different. So there is the Studio 86 in vehicle mode, very similar vehicle mode, but definitely some changes to it. It rolls decently. Weapon storage, you can actually put the gun in the bottom. Now, the thing I don't like about this is the legs have a tendency to want to pop back out, which makes it more difficult to roll, but a nice enough vehicle mode. Now let's highlight a few of the changes between these two. Lost that weapon. So side by side, again, they look very similar. Again, the blue detailing on the front and for the headlights is missing on the Studio 86. If you look at the sides, the front wheels are very similar. However, there's no real cover plates, so on the, I'll take off the swords to make it easier to see. On the Thrilling 30, you can actually see the leg. Under there, there's no cover plate. Here they added a cover plate, so it's not as obvious that there is stuff under there, which is actually, because of the differences in transformation, covering the arm instead. The transformations are very different because the arms here go towards the center, whereas the arms here go up, and whereas the legs here go to the sides, this has them going into the center. So the transformations are very different, even though the end result is very similar. The little fin here is about the same. This one pops off very easily, so I'd say that's kind of a minus, but it pops right back in, so it's not a big deal. The steering columns are different. If you look real close inside, the Studio 86 has the 2 seats, but it has like 3 dials. It looks like it has almost 2 steering wheels. Center console, where here there's a steering wheel and some controls. The seats are a little bit different. So here you got your 2 seats, here you got your 2 seats with the little center piece behind. But again, very similar. Both have Autobot symbols here. This has some nice black detailing around. This one does not. Similar white. Going back here, this one lacks the ports to put any weapons. So this RC is definitely better able to be armed. And the rears are a bit different. So this slopes down a bit more. This is a little blockier, but you can also see these are the legs with the wheel. Here, the wheel is actually part of the plate that comes out. So this is a little bit more of a plate former. Not saying it's a bad toy, but just a little bit different in the way it brings out those wheels. And the rear ends, obviously, this one is a little taller. This has the black stripe and the pink and the white on the sides. This has the white in the middle, pink on the side. So very different looking from the back. Still very similar vehicle modes. It's amazing to me how such similar vehicle modes can have different transformations. I would say probably this Studio 86 is closer to what we saw in Transformers the movie and then the subsequent season 3. This definitely has a lot more detailing. It's definitely a cool figure. It's hard to say, they're very close. They look very similar in both modes, and this one is jacked with weapons. So it's hard to say which one is better, but that's not my job, that is your job. You decide which of these is the better RC. Or you could say it's a tie. They definitely took a lot of the good stuff from Thrilling 30, put it into the studio version, but they also made some changes, which may make it better, may make it worse. That's up to you. But I'll put links to both of them in the description. And while you're mulling it over, we have a video over here that's about the Paradron Medic version of RC. Well, it's a different character, but you should check that out. Also, be sure to subscribe, like, share. A super thanks would be awesome. We will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.